Hello, good evening. Welcome to News Night here on Metro Television. My name is Bridget Otu. Thank God it's Friday. The stories making headlines tonight. Our very first story tonight, and at least 3 severely injured with several property destroyed in a gas explosion at Kumasi Shoe Factory Friday afternoon. And we understand the timely intervention prevented some 400 pupils from being in a catastrophe. And drivers began queuing at various fuel stations for diesel across the capital in suspected artificial shortage. Minority in Parliament raised red flags over Electoral Commission's move to replace the voters' identification card with the Ghana card in the upcoming 2024 elections. Later in business, we understand demand is being made in Parliament for the urgent summon of the Food and Agriculture Minister, Dr. Ewusu Efriakoto, to brief the House on the state of Ghana's poultry industry. On the international front, French drone strikes kill nearly 40 fighters traveling on motorcycles near Niger's border with Burkina Faso. We have these stories and many more across the country. Join us for the next 60 minutes. Hello again, and remember we're streaming on Twitter. It's at Metro TVG. If you're on Facebook, it's at Newsnight and at Metro TV Ghana. Our very first story tonight, and a gas explosion incident at the Kumasi Shoe Factory at Trapatre in the Asukwa municipality of the Ashanti region has left about 3 persons severely injured. The incident, which occurred around 11 a.m., also left 2 cars burnt. There's more in the following.
Gas tanker was said to be discharging fuel at a company in the shoe factory yard at Aponsu Trapatre in the Asukwa municipality of the Ashanti region, which caught fire, resulting in the explosion. According to eyewitnesses, the tanker explosion caused a panic among the people around the area who were running helter-skelter for safety, which resulted in injuries to some workers who rushed out for safety. Some of the eyewitnesses spoke with the news team. When we noticed the tanker was on fire, we quickly sounded a warning to those nearby to run for their lives. However, some rather ran towards the fire, and at that point, I had no choice than to run for my life too.
We heard a noise, some pum noise. I heard the first one. Then the second one also came. So we came out, and then we saw smoke, and we realized that there's a fire here. So getting closer, we could see that the fire was it was traveling from the left side to the right side, or the right side to the left side. So the final sound that made people run, and even some of the fire people were running, was the tanker here.
I was returning from work when I saw the fire coming from the building. Soon, I heard the school children screaming, so I quickly rushed to help them out. Meanwhile, others were standing there recording the fire instead of helping out. Firefighters who were deployed to the scene to fight the inferno battled the flames within 1.5 hours. According to the Ashanti Regional Fire Service commander who led the firefighters to the scene, said the service is conducting preliminary investigations and would come out with findings. He, however, added that the fuel tanker was discharging fuel into a polytank manufacturing company cylinder when it caught fire.
We've informed filling stations and gas stations that any time they want to discharge gas or fuel, they should inform us to come and do standby so that in case anything happens, we can quickly respond to it. Like the way they all ran away, we've been trained to manage these things. We will gather the courage and manage it, and it will not escalate to this level.
Samuel Otin is the Ashanti Regional Director of EPA, and he had these things to say.
They said they were discharging into their tank, and that something happened that erupted, that created a whole issue. So now what they need to do is to suspend all the work that they are doing and do a very good report for us to meet together with the fire and other even stakeholders, including even National Petroleum Authority. They are in charge of energy products. So So they will all be involved. The district assembly, the municipal assembly in charge of this area will also be involved.
The injured were sent to the hospital and later discharged, while the scene of the accident has been closed from the public for safety.
Right, and we are going on the phone to speak to Peter Osei Adai. He is the Ashanti Regional Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service. A very good evening and thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening, Bridget, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. What can you tell us this very moment that the Ghana National Fire Service has gathered beyond what the other officer said?
I can say that investigations are underway to establish what actually caused the fire. So
right.
as of now, it's early days yet.
It's early days yet.
Yes.
So what happens to the report when you put it together?
The report, when it's put together, is actually submitted to the authorities and the owners of the facility.
When you say authorities, who are the authorities?
It actually goes to, in fact, the arrangement is between the owners and the fire authorities. So it goes to the authorities, the owners of the facility and the fire authorities.
Okay. We understand 3 people were severely injured. What more can you tell us about the injuries that occurred and if everybody else is safe, including your officers?
All the officers are safe and everybody else is safe. Those who were injured got injured as a result of evacuating the facility. So nobody was actually affected by the fire itself. In the process of panicking, when they were escaping, they got injured.
Okay. I also want to know, do you make your report available to police? If the gas station, the fuel station says we were discharging and this happened, they cannot be absolved of any responsibility because they could have killed people with their actions.
Upon request, the copies are made available.
Upon request by who?
By any interested party. So you said the police.
You just do your report and you keep it. You shelve it.
We don't shelve it, but you see, it's a facility that belongs to somebody. For instance, if fire catches somebody's house, and you make the report public, it's unethical. So, upon request, if the police suspects foul play, they request for it, we give it to them. It also informs us on how to channel our education. So we do not do a report and shelve them.
So in this case, it's the company that bears responsibility for those who are injured, correct?
Correct.
But what if they have damaging, injuries and police doesn't make any request? Or is the families that would have to go on and sue the company?
That's true.
That's correct. All right. Thank you very much for talking to us. Peter is the PR for the Ashanti Regional, saying that it's early days here. They're still gathering more information or investigating what happened. Upon request, they could make the report available if the police suspect any foul play or if families decide that, look, we want to take this further. We'll definitely stay on it and see what else happens. We're coming back to the capital and look at fuel. And acute fuel shortage has hit some parts of Accra, with drivers and users of petroleum products hopping from one fuel station to the other in search of the commodity. A visit to some filling stations by our reporter Zoe Anita O'Day revealed that while some fuel stations have halted services, others are contending with long queues.
The National Petroleum Authority on May 10, 2022, allayed fears on a possible shortage in diesel following a projection by the Institute of Energy Security on Friday, May 6, 2022. The IES has said shortage in coming months would be due to disruption on the international markets as a result of the Ukraine-Russia tensions. Checks by Metro News across the capital indicated the total filling station in Osu had no fuel. The Guayal filling station at Osu also had to contend with queues as a result of limited stock. Some drivers and fuel attendants shared their experience so far with Metro News.
Sure, there has been a shortage, but it started yesterday when around 2 p.m. we heard that from Total they have run out of diesel.
I went to Total, that was I think 3 days today, and there was a shortage over there. And Shell also, yeah. So for the past for some weeks now, I've been using this, now they call it Go. Their prices is low comparing it to the other this thing, filling stations. Their prices are okay. Since the other filling stations, they have shortages, so I normally come here because here they always have this, now they call it fuels and diesels.
Head of Research and Training at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Benjamin Insia, hinted that some fuel stations are hoarding petroleum products, especially diesel, in wait of a new fuel price on Monday, which has led to the shortage.
The market still has enough of diesel. Diesel are coming in, I think, almost every month, and the MP has assured us that they've guaranteed some new markets where we can import diesel from. Because we are entering a new window, BDC set new prices for petroleum products, and some of these OMCs would like to cash in and then make profit out of it. So diesel is in the system, but I think most of them are waiting for new prices to sell them. So beginning today till Monday, any retail outlets you visit or any filling station you visit, there will be diesel around, especially when the new price is set in.
He added that because no buffer has been set by the bulk oil storage and transportation to cushion prices, fuel buyers take the brunt.
POST, for example, was established specifically for reserving petroleum products for about 6 to 12 weeks. That is 3 months maximum. But as we speak, POST is not performing that particular function. And for that matter, whenever there is a supply challenge on the European market, the local consumer here suffers because we don't have any buffer to push or release onto the market, the local market, to cushion the petroleum consumer.
Benjamin Insia is hopeful the shortage will cease once the new price window takes effect next week.
Right, and yesterday, fuel prices across the country hit 13 cedis 15. That's for diesel, pesos across the country. And meanwhile, the situation is not quite different across the continent. So our business team put together, the top African countries, how they are faring. Because, when you ask government will tell you that it's same everywhere. But is it really same? How far are we or how close are we? Let's take a look at the slides provided by So we have a couple of African countries. Ethiopia, if you look at the minimum wage, $1.01, and inflation is currently hitting 36.6, but their fuel price, it's less than $1. That's $12. That's like 712 cents. And Ghana, you have 1.69. Inflation stands at 27.6%, and you're looking at per liter 1.286. And that's 9.6 cedis thereabouts, because today the dollar stands at 7.95 cedis. So $1 to 7.95 cedis. Angola, $3, so it's higher. Angola, the minimum wage is way higher, $3.09, 24.42%. That's the inflationary rate. And fuel again is less than $1 per liter. And Nigeria, $3 minimum wage. And Ghana, our minimum wage is 1.69, so it's low. Our inflationary percentage is 27.6. And then we have Egypt as well. Egypt, 7.25, that's high, minimum wage. Rwanda is at $2.50, that's their minimum wage. But then the inflationary percentage there is 12.6. And that of Nigeria is 17.4, and then Egypt is 13.5 for inflation. And each of them has, the fuel price per liter is lower. But look at our fuel price per liter. Ours is 1.286. So the highest there is Rwanda with $1.321. So I guess we're closer. So these are the top 5. And then at the very bottom, we're also not far from it. At the very bottom, we are at the bottom of it. And that's the bottom 5. We're looking at bottom 5 again. So the lowest. And Liberia, $6. That's their minimum wage, 8.19%. And Togo has $2 for their minimum wage, 7.5. And fuel is 1.2. And fuel it's kind of even. When you look at these countries, it's even. All of them are above $1. All of them are above $1. So the least I could see is the 1.025, and that's in Togo. Kenya is 1.3, Liberia 1.295, so they are very close. So I guess we're not far off there. All right. All right, so we're staying on the fuel conversation as drivers in the capital have complained about the constant increase in fuel prices. They maintained not only has the surge in fuel prices affected their work as drivers, but also caused chaos in their homes.
The second week in May saw increase in fuel prices. At the pumps, there was an increase from 10 cedis 80 pesos per litre to 11 cedis 40 pesos. This subsequently caused an increase in transport fares with a threshold of 20%. There were a lot of eyebrows raising about the then transport fares in various transport stations. Fast forward, or a month later, we are back again at the fuel stations, and then if you check, or evidently from behind, you could see that prices of fuel have again increased. You can see fuel or diesel increasing to some 13 cedis 50 pesos, followed by petrol, which is currently pegged at 10 cedis 99 pesos. Then you have the super, which is 11 cedis 50 pesos, and then even kerosene, which used to be or currently a common commodity in our house or a common fuel in our various homes, pegged at 12 cedis per litre.
And the fuel and fuel 4 million. Until upon the Yashi passengers no one so nutia will be in the car. Be or her. It would mean 80 Ghana 70. Be or her. It would mean Aquanim Kakra. And Shadan Yinafako.
According to him, he makes a sale or a daily sales of 202 cedis or 220 cedis, and then he would always have to buy fuel worth 400 Ghana cedis. At the end of the day, he's able to make profit sometimes, on the average of 70 or 80 cedis. He would have to share that with his conductor, or what we popularly call the mate.
The whole day, if you are lucky, you can work around like 250 300. And when work like 250 300, you lose.
So let's say you are having 300 cedis, you would have to take out 200 of fuel price,
and make say 70.
Sales 70. So that is 270. Yeah. So now you have 30 cedis
profit, and 35 cedis profit. You have to wash your car. 15 cedis.
And then I'm sure you're a family man.
I'm a family man. I have children. I have three children, and my wife.
What do you go home and tell your wife with the 30 cedis?
30 cedis. And that's why when we went home, then the women are fighting with us. That we use money to go change another woman. But not that. But after nowadays, then I see that it's true that we will not get anything.
Why petrol 200? Why actually 250, 300? Call G petrol sky me. No go to no. O be. The first why you do go question. But petrol 200, no actually 250. Call G petrol. Hey. 50 Ghana, minute Obafi.
You can share your thoughts as well with us on all our social media platforms using the hashtag Newsnight. Let's go to our headline story. And the Minority Caucus in Parliament has expressed worry over the Electoral Commission's move to replace the voters' identification card with the Ghana card in the upcoming 2024 elections. The MPs argue many Ghanaians will be disenfranchised as some Ghanaians are yet to acquire the Ghana cards. They are urging the National Identification Authority to do the needful.
The matter of the national ID card and even the contemplation of the Electoral Commission of Ghana to use it as basis for registration or for the conduct of the 2024 elections makes it a democratic imperative that every deserving Ghanaian has the national ID card. Any failure on their part will throw our democracy in jeopardy. And therefore, the matter he has raised in many areas, in fact, Mr. Speaker, normally I drive out of my house through the Tamale regional office popularly known as the regional coordinating councils. And on daily basis, as I leave town in the morning, I see queues of old men and women and young people just at the gate of the regional administration. When you ask, they say they are here to apply for national ID card. That public good must be made increasingly and easily available to the Ghanaian.
Is if if the business committee can schedule a briefing, a joint briefing of the ministers of Interior, Communication and Finance for this house on a critical issue involving the Ghana card. The Ministry of Communication has issued a deadline of 31st of this month, that 1st of July, they are going to deactivate SIM cards. The Bank of Ghana says that your money that is in your own account that you paid in from the 1st of July, you cannot access it without a Ghana card. And they are all taking reference to a legislative instrument from this house, LI 2111. Even the Electoral Commission is preparing to bring us a CR that is to create a new voters register using a Ghana card. But majority of our constituents today, some of them have registered since 2018. The National Identity Authority is unable to provide them their Ghana cards.
And the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, is demanding that the Parliament's Business Committee include his questions filed on the National Cathedral to questions expected to be answered by the Finance Minister next week. The MP argues that it may take a while before Ken Ofori-Atta reappears before the House for questioning, hence the need for the Minister to be quizzed somewhere next week Wednesday.
The Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, has been programmed to attend upon Parliament on June 22, 2022 to brief the House on government's COVID-19 expenditure after failing to appear before the House due to circumstances beyond his control. Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to answer some 16 questions by some members of Parliament. This will be the first time in 8 months the minister will be appearing before the House to answer questions by the MPs. And per the standing orders of Parliament, he has just 1 hour to answer these questions. But some MPs on the minority side have since raised concerns that their questions have been omitted from the list of 16. MP for North Tongue, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, is one of them. He is demanding that Parliament's Business Committee includes his questions on the funding of the National Cathedral.
I would have thought that with the Minister for Finance coming to the House on Wednesday next week, after his inability to be present yesterday, we will have added these National Cathedral questions, because it's a very, very important matter of enormous national interest, and it also relates to Article 178 of our Constitution, whether the Finance Minister can be spending without parliamentary approval. So I do not think it's too late if the Majority Leader can consider ensuring that these questions are added to what the Finance Minister will be responding to on Wednesday next week.
Leader of Government Business in the House, Osei Mensa Bonsu, in a response, said his committee will work around the clock so his questions are admitted.
As regard the fact that you've submitted questions and they got into the Speaker, as you have diligently traced and tracked that they got into the Speaker on the 3rd of June, I thought you were going to tell me that the Speaker has admitted the questions. If the Speaker has not admitted the questions, they will not come to the Business Committee for programming. So you have some further work to do, tracing and tracking. So, but I think it's important that you have undertaken to do this. We will liaise with the Table Office to see the status of those questions, and then what must be done, sequel to the Speaker admitting or not admitting the questions.
The Finance Minister will also brief the House as part of questions posed by the MPs on the state of Ghana's ailing economy.
Live on Metro Television, we're taking our very first break. We'll be back with some more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to Newsnight, and we're streaming live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana and at Newsnight. On Twitter is at Metro TV GH. Now, parts of Tamale are in darkness and has been for weeks now. Now, the situation is reportedly creating a state of insecurity and inconvenience to residents, and the concerned residents have thus taken to social media to demand local authorities fix streetlights immediately and treat it as urgent. And they're using the hashtag fix Tamale streetlights now, and hashtag again stop the robbery. So if you see any of these hashtags, it's from Tamale. So let's go to our video wall and just show you, highlights of areas that are experiencing that, right? So Alhamdulillah Hotel, when the stand is off, so hashtag Tamale is dark. There's also the hashtag Tamale is dark, and fix Tamale street lights now, and hashtag, even there's hashtag Tamale Metro, and also from U10 coming out from Gumani, that's the Agrek traffic light. We understand this. It's also in total darkness. We've mentioned that. And so if you're on Twitter, use the hashtag Tamale is dark, tag fix Tamale street lights. Again, few street lights again on the interchange. And I'm sure this hashtag could be repeated even in the capital Accra, because there are lots of streets without street lights. So thank you, Tamale, for starting this. Also, taxi rank traffic lights, street lights is also off. If you're in the capital and you want to show us what's happening in your community and how that is creating insecurity, or as Tamale resident puts it, insecurity and the fear of robbery, you can also use the hashtag to join the conversation. Now, President Akufo-Addo has commissioned the second phase of the University of Ghana Medical Center. The completion, according to the president, signals government's resolve to enhance medical facilities across the country to boost medical research and tourism.
Management of the University of Ghana Medical Center says it is positioning it to solve complex medical problems. The second phase of the facility comes with an added value of cancer management, reproductive technology, additional accommodation facility for its over 1,000 staff, and many more. CEO of the UGMC says the facility is being positioned to offer quaternary services in medical simulation, clinical services, and scientific research during its commission on Friday.
That's in August 2019. With much pride, we operationalized our cutting-edge medical simulation and training center, which is the biggest training center in West Africa. This training center is nationally recognized and multidisciplinary academic center, and is committed to achieving excellence in medical education through the use of highly quality cutting-edge computer-based simulations. Our 1,000-bed clinical services section of the UGMC is committed to promotion of favorable health outcomes through innovative, customer-centered, cost-effective and highly quality processes. We are currently running almost 40 specialty and subspecialty level clinics, from a humble beginning of running 3 general services at the OPD. This section has the biggest ICU in the country, the second biggest cardiothoracic center in Ghana, and so far, we are pleased to say we have successfully conducted 12 open heart surgeries.
President Akufo-Addo lauded the efforts of management of the UGMC for driving government's vision.
The added value of the second phase, which is estimated at 40,500,000 euros, includes the establishment of the implementation of the investment and business model to make the facility self-sustaining over a 5-year period. The facility further strengthens government's resolve to enhance the capacity of the country's health facilities to provide medical tourism in the region and beyond.
He said government will ensure the availability of the right skill set at the facility to deliver cutting-edge services to its clients.
Right, so my microphone is on now, and still on health, and the health minister, Kweku Ajiman-Menu, is urging Ghanaians to observe the COVID-19 safety protocols as the country is experiencing an uptick in COVID cases.
It has made significant strides in providing 10,000 hospital beds, employed over 90,000 health professionals to provide the needed services in the country's health institutions. And as a way of improving pre-hospital care, 112 ambulances for pre-hospital care will be delivered soon to augment the existing fleet. This is in addition to the 307 ambulances that have been provided for almost every district in the country at the moment. So, President, to address the COVID-19 issues, treatment centers have been constructed, one at the 37 Military Hospital. We have one at Pantan and Dodua. Works are nearing completion at the one in Kumasi Treatment Center at Sewa. As you may be aware, there are a few reported cases of COVID-19 cases lately, and I will therefore appeal to all and sundry to adhere to COVID-19 protocols of hand washing, wearing of masks, especially indoors, and social distancing.
Right, and what's Paris without its famous Eiffel Tower? Unimaginable, right? The 330-meter monument sits graciously in the heart of the city, overlooking the Seine River.
The Eiffel Tower in all its glory, what began as a dream to trump all other competitors in an exhibition in 1889, now becomes one of the world's most iconic monuments. It is now over 100 years old and still attracts millions of visitors from across the world. The tower has 3 levels for visitors, with restaurants on the first and second levels. Visitors could access the floors of the monument by taking the lifts, which offer them an opportunity to embrace the whole of Paris. At night, it sparks gold. The lighting is triggered automatically by nightfall sensors.
Just behind me is the iconic Eiffel Tower. The clock just struck 12, and this is what happens. Already, hundreds of tourists are trooping in to catch a glimpse of this beautiful piece of art.
But I really love coming to the Eiffel Tower. It's been my favorite thing to come both times. I really like the lights and like the community that it built and the green lawn. And yeah, I'm just a big fan of the Eiffel Tower.
Tower itself, it's just how all this was made way back in the day. Just the history behind it, how the artist made the whole architecture and everything, and how beautiful and lit up it is, and just the opportunity for you to actually be able to go up into the tower itself.
Eiffel Tower sits on the bank of the Seine River, which is over 700 kilometers long. The cruise on the river, spanning 2 hours, offers visitors the opportunity to see magnificent monuments in the city while enjoying sumptuous meal and music.
Some beautiful views, some absolutely breathtaking views going down here.
So we're very happy. The first time for us on the boat. To dine on the boat is absolutely gorgeous view. And our favorite, of course, the Eiffel Tower. You know, the Eiffel Tower is like a light show every hour in the night after 10 o'clock. We saw 3 times last night, which is 10, 11, and midnight. We had a great time.
The Seine River is listed as one of UNESCO's World Heritage Sites, and the view, I must say, is spectacular. So next time you're in Paris, do well to visit this river. Eugenia Akofakume, Metro News, Paris.
And Eugenia so makes me want to go to France. And what I love about the Eiffel Tower is when they light it up in a country's color, or when somebody does something great and they light it, and it's just so beautiful and connects with the world. We're taking another break. We'll come back with more on business with Winston Taki. Do stay with us.
Welcome back to News Night live on Metro TV. My name is Winston Taki. And now to a false business story. The minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, is demanding the urgent summoning of the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto, to brief the House on the state of Ghana's poultry industry. According to the Tamale South MP, poultry farming in the country is on the verge of collapse due to lack of government support and importation of poultry products. He is therefore urging the minister to find urgent solutions to revamp the dying industry.
There is a simmering problem with the poultry industry in Ghana. Poultry farmers have difficulty accessing what they call poultry feed. I understand that a number of poultry-related businesses are closing up for some difficulties with the business of poultry. Mr. Speaker, we are already an unacceptable net importer of poultry when we have capacity and capability to be able to produce the poultry that we need. It is my recommendation that the Minister for Agriculture will have to come and brief this House on the state of the poultry industry in Ghana, the challenges, and what we can do to assist, because, Mr. Speaker, it remains a major source of employment apart from satisfying the protein needs of Ghana.
Now, away from that, an industrial park is a portion of a city that is zoned for industrial use rather than residential or commercial needs. According to the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, Herbert Krapper, the government's vision is to build one industrial park in each region across the country.
The infrastructure that you are talking about first is in the area of industrial parks and special economic zones, and that's the model that we are building. And we have a one region, one park model where we are currently building parks, acquired the lands and putting in place the investment to be able to build industrial parks in each region where you have the dedicated infrastructure, electricity, roads, water, and water view. And then we are able to attract investment into those parks, those enclaves, special economic zones, that allows the private sector to have the space to be able to go into AFCFT. Of course, we also have a very modern airport. We have a very modern, improved seaports, and then more are also being built, all to help with trade facilitation. The Abidjan-Lagos corridor is actually being worked on. I was in Lagos 2 weeks ago for a meeting of trade ministers on that corridor, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, to ensure that trade facilitation on that important corridor, be it infrastructure, be it road, be it digital interoperability, is harmonized so that our traders can take advantage of the infrastructure and then move. In terms of digital trade, that's one of the protocols that is being negotiated under the second.
Safeline Ghana has launched a Safeline Internet and Business Solutions, known as SIBS, which aims at promoting business continuity by building resilience against cyber threats and digital vulnerabilities. The newly launched business solution will provide digital protection and disaster recovery solutions for businesses.
Safeline Ghana is a product of the Safeline Communications Company, which was established in 2011 to provide high-quality internet connectivity to the Ghanaian market. The Safeline Internet and Business Solutions SIBS is a comprehensive internet solutions that provides multi-location replication, which saves business digital data in several locations for future use. Highlighting the benefits of the Safeline Internet and Business Solutions platform, cybersecurity analyst Elliot Hoyer noted that the platform is a cloud infrastructure which is accessible anytime.
It's a cloud-based solution, so we don't need to have any infrastructure installed. We don't need to have people trained to be able to manage from a particular point of view at whatever point in time. No, it's a cloud infrastructure which addresses the next digital risk protection.
Commercial Director at Safeline Communications Ghana, Isaac Ama, noted that Safeline wants to offer internet solutions that will help business fight cybersecurity issues.
I think it's wise that we should focus on the high-value segment, businesses, large corporates, SMEs, and more importantly, having operated as a pure data connectivity company, we have transitioned into a place where we're now offering solutions to businesses. We are going beyond the data that we offer to offering packages that help businesses to protect themselves, help them to insulate themselves for all the cyber attacks and all the security issues around, and let them focus on delivering their core value as far as their profitabilities are concerned.
The Enterprise Business Manager, Martins Akinola, stated that Safeline Internet and Business Solutions, SIPS, is cost-effective and it will aid business run smoothly.
We are here to make your businesses run better. We're here to provide solutions that suit your need. We're here to provide solutions that are cost-effective and, of course, very efficient. Amongst them, of course, is the data recovery service, which tends to protect your business in case of risk.
The launch of Safeline Internet and Business Solutions, SAPES, was held in Accra with cyber experts and business owners.
That'll be all for business here on Newsnight. My name is Winston Taki. We're back with sports with Phil John Corte after this break. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's time for your sports. My name is Phil John Quarte. Dutch international Memphis Pepe has announced that he will soon carry out the Youth Empower project here in Ghana. The player revealed this when he met the president at the Jubilee House here in Accra.
Every time I come to Ghana, I feel like I'm coming home. And we appreciate what you're doing for the country. And I come here with a mission to empower the kids that doesn't have a chance, or that, in my opinion, don't get looked after. And that's the deaf and blind kids. So for me, I don't know, I think God gave me a call to come and do that and be there for them, give them opportunities, help them, providing more teachers, education, sports, because they have talent. So
the work that you're doing is important. I want to encourage you. So many different avenues by which the society can be empowered and helped. And those who are coming, doing it, not as government institutions, but private initiatives, is also very, very important. And it's excellent that somebody of your fame and talent devotes part of your energies to what you're doing. It's good. I become part of Ghanaian national policy to open our country up to all the people, they call them the diaspora, the Ghanaian, the African diaspora. I think it's important, and that the synergy that can be created between you there and those of us here.
From Accra, let's go to Qatar and focus on preparations for the 2022 World Cup. This is because the last 3 countries that have just qualified for the World Cup's flag has been hoisted in Qatar.
The flags of Australia, Costa Rica and Wales were hoisted in Doha on Thursday, June 16, as they represent the last 3 nations to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. Fans gathered to sing their anthems and wave their colors as their flags were hoisted next to those of the other 29 nations who had previously qualified for the World Cup finals slated for November and December this year. Of the 3, Wales were the first to qualify when on June 5, they beat Ukraine 1-0 in their qualification playoff to book their first spot in the finals in 64 years. Wales will play in Group B along with the United States, Iran and neighbors England in the tournament, which starts on November 21.
We are back here in Ghana and focusing on the Ghana Premier because the last round of matches will start tomorrow. The fixtures will be on your screens. Now, there you have it. Accra Lions will play against Asante Kotto, who are champions already. On Sunday, Karela United will welcome the chaps from Soga Kopi, that is Wafa. Elmina Shark, they have been relegated. Accra Great Olympics will take opportunity to beat them and qualify to top 4. At the Babaya Sports, King Faisal will welcome Legon Cities, while Accra has to the Phobians. Until recently, they are the defending champions. They will play the Pride of the North, RTU. Dims FC will be in the Eastern region against the chaps from Takwa, that is Mediama, whilst in Bibiani, Gold Stars will play against Ashcode. Those are fixtures on your screens. Well, that's your sports. My name is Phil John Cortesio, smiling and ready to tell us something about the National Museum.
Right, Johnny. Thanks for the updates in sports. It's time for entertainment news. My name is Asiedua Akumia. The National Museum, which was opened in 1957 and had to be closed to the public in 2015 for lack of maintenance, has been reopened to the public. Now let's take a look at how much one has to pay to visit the museum. Now lower and upper primary students would have to pay 2 cedis, JHS students 3 cedis, SHS students 3 cedis also, tertiary students or volunteers with ID card would pay 4 cedis, Ghanaian adults would pay 10 cedis, non-Ghanaian lower and upper primary 6 cedis, non-Ghanaian JHS or SHS with ID 8 Ghana cedis, non-Ghanaian tertiary students, volunteers with ID 40 cedis, and non-Ghanaian adults will pay 50 cedis. And let's also look at non-commercial pictures that is on request for special use. And the next one we have pictures with phone, that is 10 cedis. Video, cell phone or camera, 230 cedis. Pictures, still camera from Ghanaians would be 460 cedis. And non-Ghanaians taking pictures with still camera would be 400 and would be 1,495 cedis, and commercial filming or pictures with written permission from GMMB. Okay, also Ghanaians overall will pay 1,500 cedis. So yes, the museum is officially opened. Now for our next story, hammers and nails are often used for hanging up art pieces, but for one Nigerian artist, these tools make the art itself. The 27-year-old graduate, Odunayo Fapuhunda from Southwest Nigeria, developed his interest in nail art in 2015 when he met someone using nails to make art. He now makes artistic designs and images by hammering hundreds of nails into wood.
Today, he is completing a portrait of Ayodeji Makun, a Nigerian comedian and actor, a piece that used up 55,000 pieces of nails. Using a pointillist method, he starts by using a pencil to trace out his subject dot by dot on a board, then begins to hammer in the nails until the image begins to form. When done, he sprays in a chemical to avoid the nails from rusting. A portrait can cost from $700 and upwards, and depending on the size of the project, can take up to 3 months to complete. Sometimes it is not without some challenges, as a single mistake may mean starting all over and destroying the board already used.
I saw somebody back then in 2015 using nail to make art. I love it and I take my time to learn it, and today I can call myself a professional. You have to be very, very technical, because if there's any mistake, it requires us to damage the board. And it won't be nice enough. It will be like a waste of money and waste of time.
Fapuhunda has gained fans along the way, many of whom are intrigued by his method to make artworks.
Looking at it far away, I was wondering what it was made of. But by the time I get closer, I could see that there are some, nails coming together and forming, pictures of a whole human being, and I looked at it as, wow, this is wonderful.
Fapuhunda hopes to inspire younger artists to experiment more and think outside the box when making art.
When people get to see my work, they feel wowed, like, this is different, this is unique, they actually can't really believe something of such exists. Because barely looking at it on phone, they used to see it like pencil work. This part.
A beautiful one there. Well, that's it for entertainment news. My name is Esiedua Akumia. Bridget?
Thank you, Esiedua. International news is next. And French drone strikes have killed nearly 40 fighters earlier traveling on motorcycles near Niger's border with Burkina Faso. In a statement, the French military called the strikes a, quote, new tactical success, unquote, for France's counterterrorism efforts in Africa's Sahel region named Operation Barkhane. Right, and that's it for Newsnight. It's Friday. Let your hair down, but be safe. My name is Bridget Otsu. Have a pleasant evening.